Alright, what's up, y'all? So, this is kind of a different video versus the usual. No intro, nothing like that. I just wanted to talk to y'all and be open about something. Um, it's something I've been dealing with definitely after post show. And it's a thing a lot of bodybuilders aren't really open about. Um, Not even just bodybuilders, just people in fitness realm in general, fitness content. Um, but yeah, I just want to uh, talk about this, be open about it, and not pretend like it isn't happening, um, because there's no benefit in that. So I just want to come on here, and actually talk about it because there's lots of people that just don't, and it makes it seem like it doesn't exist, but it does. So when you're getting ready for a show and you finally step on stage, it's the best you've looked in your life, like by far. Um, it feels amazing. It feels great. You look at yourself and you're like actually in awe because it's like I can't believe I was able to get to this point. That's how I was. I was like shocked at how I looked. And after a show, you obviously have to be putting weight on to get to a healthy body fat. 'Cause you can't be 6% body fat year round. And that sounds like common sense, which it is, but it's harder thing to realize than you'd think. Cause me after a show personally, I was like before the show happened, I was like after the show it'll be fine. I'll be fine with just putting on fat and then get into bulking, and I was excited for that. But after the show, obviously I was super hungry, and as y'all saw in the videos, like I binged, um, and I would get into these binge and restrict cycles, where I would just be binging and eating 6, 7, 8,000 calories a day, and then the next day I'd be like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And um, I would restrict and go on like a like per, like 2,000 2,500 calorie uh like diet for that day, and then I would get do that for a couple days. I would get hungry because I'm in a deficit, and then I would just rebound, get another massive 6, 7, 8,000 calorie cheat day, and the cycle continues, and it's really not healthy, and it's not good. But that's what was happening, and I'd see myself in the mirror putting on a very small amount of fat. Um, Say I was 6% on stage, which is probably realistic. Say I got up to like 8 or 9%, which is still shredded. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I look terrible. And people would be telling me like, oh, you look insane, bro. You look shredded. And in my mind, I would be like, oh, they're just saying that to be nice. And I thought I looked terrible. Even like 2 weeks or a week post show, I thought I looked terrible. And it was something that was hard to deal with. And um, that kind of like body dysmorphia, which I haven't really dealt with in honestly a long time. It's always a little bit of body dysmorphia throughout my lifting journey, but it's never usually serious. It's sometimes I feel like I look better, and sometimes I feel like I look worse. That's normal. That happens to really anybody, but I would think I look genuinely bad, and I was still shredded, and so it got to the point where I was just binging and restricting, thinking I looked terrible, and I wouldn't even post my physique on Instagram because I thought I looked terrible. Y'all could notice that if you scroll my page. I was actually just posting physique updates from before the show or like right when the show happened, um, as reels, and I wasn't posting my current physique. And I did that for a good 2 3 weeks. But yeah, so you're on stage, best you've ever looked in your life, and you will never look like that level of conditioning again until you compete again. So it's like it's just you're chasing after a show, you're chasing that look. So like I remember I have this picture of me flexing my abs in the mirror the night before my show, and I kept every single day after my show. I would take a picture and I'd compare it to that and be like, "Oh, I need to make sure I'm still close to that." Um, and it's just not a healthy way to even live. Like it's really not. And you're just comparing yourself to your all-time best, which isn't maintainable, but in which I subconsciously knew, I knew it wasn't maintainable, but I would still be comparing myself to it, and yeah, it wasn't good. But yeah, like a lot of people, it continues and it just keeps going. So that's why I feel like I need to come on here and talk about it. So um, I'm being open with all of y'all. So it's I'm not pretending like it's not happening, because it definitely did, and I was binge restrict, and it was terrible. Bodybuilding really is. It's a sport like no other. Like you work months and months and months of dieting and training to get to this one day where you look the best you've ever looked, and then 2 days after you don't look like that. And for me, the day of, I didn't even look like that after I was done with my routine and all that, because we went and got food. So yeah. um and after a show, I'm like, I I kind of had like never ending hunger, to be honest. Like I would just eat and binge, and it was terrible. Like I would eat so much, and I got to the point where like I was full, and I would just keep eating, and I would get like stomach pain and all of that, and I would just keep on eating, and I'd do that for like probably like 2 or 3 days on end, and then I would realize, and I'd be like, what am I doing? And I wouldn't even be enjoying the food. And then that's when the binge restrict kind of started, and I would go on these like crash diets and do tons and tons of cardio. I was waking up every single morning doing um over an hour on the treadmill, doing 20 minutes of the sauna, and just to get back to my look. And then I would start binging again. And then next day, oh, well, I can counteract that. I can just do more cardio. So I started doing cardio just so I could eat more, and which is a terrible way to look at cardio. Cardio is a tool, not it's not something you should be doing just so you can eat more. And yeah, so I would be doing anything I could to get back to how I looked, and then it wasn't sustainable, obviously, so I would end up binging, and it's hard on your body. It's not healthy at all. And the worst part of it all is I never even felt good after the binge, because I would just feel guilty about it. So now I think, I don't know the exact amount of weeks. I think it's been 6 weeks post show. Now I'm in a good position, and I am not doing that anymore. I'm not like concerned with being like, oh, I need to get back. I need to cut back, and then start doing binge and restrict cycles again. I'm out of that fully, which is great. So you know what that means? We're gonna be main gaining. So right now, I know it's just a number, but I would guess I'm in that a little bit under 12% body fat, just around there. Um, and I'm happy with how I look body fat wise. So this the current look right now is what I'm gonna be maintaining fat wise, for this main gain. And yeah, so I'm gonna be getting freaking strong. That's gonna be a main focus, and all the compound, squat, bench, deadlift. Like I didn't deadlift forever, so I'm gonna be getting good at deadlift. That's a goal of mine. But yeah, so Um, thankfully, I've gotten out of that whole cycle, but it's a real thing that people deal with, and it's not really talked about, not that often. So, lots of people go through it and have horrible body dysmorphia post shows, and I feel like it's something that I personally need to talk about, not only to just like um, show what I've gone through, but to for other people dealing with it to show that other people also deal with it and it's a normal thing. Um, and you don't have to be thinking like that because no one thinks you're fat, obviously. If you're sub 10% body fat, it's just it's just hard to go from your best look ever to slowly gaining fat. It's really hard mentally, but thankfully I've gotten over that. So we are going to be getting freaking huge this off season, and yeah, so I just want to come on here and talk about that. But a new video I just filmed a chest day. Bench and heavy took pre. We're getting hyped. So that should be up in a few days. So stay tuned for that. But just the last thing to say is the main gain has started. So it's only gaining muscle from here while staying lean. So it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be really it's gonna be fun. Like I'm just gonna be getting strong, getting huge, and not putting on fat. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously gonna document it, post all these videos. Um, but yeah, that was just something I want to talk about. So appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.